Royal Caribbean's Utopia of the Seas is one of the biggest cruise ships in the world, and today we've got a full walkthrough tour of everything you can see, do, eat, and experience on Utopia of the Seas, so that way you know exactly what to expect up next. Hey everyone, it's Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Utopia of the Seas has 8 neighborhoods, endless pools and jacuzzis, amazing entertainment, and of course a weekend party vibe. And no doubt if you're going on Utopia of the Seas, you're going to want to know what's on board the ship, where things are, and we've got you covered with this walkthrough video tour of Utopia of the Seas. We're going to begin on the pool deck, and of course the pool deck neighborhood is up on decks 16 and 15, and essentially this is the area of the ship that has, well, the pools, the hot tubs, the jacuzzis, lots of activities on here. Remember, Utopia of the Seas is really meant to be a big floating party, and any cruise ship you go on, Utopia or any of them, it's all about the pool deck experience for a lot of people. It's so synonymous with a cruise because relaxing up here on the pool deck is what a lot of people look forward to. It's part of that traditional Caribbean vacation. There are 4 main pools on Utopia of the Seas, and the main pools are essentially interchangeable. I mean, they have different decor to some extent. Also, Royal Caribbean has a resort-style theme to them. What that really means is, compared to other ships, the resort-style theme is a little more colorful, a little more robust. You're also going to find a number of hot tubs around here, and there's no cost to use the pools or hot tubs. That's totally included, and the seats are all first come, first serve. Speaking of the chairs, though, they do get kind of busy, especially on sea days. So if you're looking to get a chair on the pool deck, my advice is certainly get up there early, because if you roll in past about 11 or 12 o'clock in the afternoon, you're really going to find that there's not a lot of choices. Splashaway Bay is the kids' aqua park on Utopia, and Splashaway Bay is where you can go to have your kids really just get drenched in water. There's buckets, there's geysers, there's sprayers, there's a little water slide. And the cool thing about this, first of all, there's no cost to it. Second of all, they just run back and forth over and over and over again and get totally soaked. And that's really, I think, what a lot of people look forward to. This is what the kids like. They just go over and over again. You know, there's some chairs for the adults to sit by and watch. There's also Baby Bay. And Baby Bay is unique in that it actually allows children who are still in diapers to go here, because kids in diapers are not allowed to go to the pools and elsewhere on the ship. So this is the only area for them. The cool thing is there's a lot of seating around Splashaway Bay, and so for adults, you'll usually be able to find some seats around here. Next up are the water slides. There are 3 water slides on Utopia of the Seas. There's no cost to use the water slides. The first 2 are the racer slides, and then you have the Champagne Bowl slide, and basically you're just going down there as fast as you can, enjoying the view. What's kind of cool is there's some see-through plastic on your way, so you can look out, I guess, if your eyes aren't closed. And it's a lot of fun. And the cool thing about the water slides is they're available every day of your cruise. My advice is try to hit the water slides to avoid a wait on either embarkation day or maybe when your ship is in port, because the lines are significantly less for the water slides at that time. The water slides are great for adults and kids, so don't feel like you're going to be out of place by trying the water slides yourself as an adult. It's a really fun activity on board. There are also pool towels that you can borrow from the towel station. Essentially, you just scan your SeaPass card, they give you how many towels you want. The key is to bring them back before the end of the cruise, because Royal Caribbean will charge you if you were to not return them. The spare tire is a new concept for Royal Caribbean, and essentially it's a counter service, quick grab and go kind of food for the pool. The idea here is you're at the pool, you're having a great time, you want to get something to eat, a little snack, not a meal, but just a snack, but you don't want to necessarily put on clothes, go inside of the Windjammer or something like that. This is a very convenient option. You can find a variety of different food choices here, including sandwiches and wraps and tornadoes, and just grab them and go. I mean, really what Royal Caribbean wanted was to provide a very convenient option to keep people going, a little snack on their way so they can enjoy their time at the pool and not be interrupted. You're also going to find the Coca-Cola freestyle machines here. If you purchase a drink package that comes with a souvenir cup, you can use it here. I kind of thought it was kind of neat that they have a little hand washing station under the hood of the spare tire food truck. So a neat idea overall. Sprinkles is our next stop, and it's not just for YouTube editors who stop here constantly to have ice cream. Sprinkles is the complimentary ice cream available on board the pool deck, and here you can go and grab, soft serve ice creams, usually vanilla, chocolate. But what's interesting about Utopia of the Seas, you also have actual sprinkles at Sprinkles. Yeah, because on other Royal Caribbean ships, there's no actual sprinkles despite the name, so you can get them and apply them to the top of your cone, and you're good to go. So enjoy your snack. It's a great way to cool down and just enjoy your pool deck experience overall. The Lime and Coconut is our next stop, and Lime and Coconut is the resort-style bar that you're going to find across Utopia of the Seas. So the Lime and Coconut is an expansive bar area. You're going to find it on both pool decks. And the idea here is that you have a lot of space, a very colorful bar, and plenty of pool drinks. There's a lot of drinks you can consider. And if you have a drink package, this is of course included in your drink package purchase, or you can simply purchase drinks a la carte. We'll talk more about the drink package a little bit later, but essentially, this is where you want to go for that pool drink experience. Now, of course, you can also wait for a waiter to come around because there is waiter service around the chairs at the pool, but I think for a lot of people, they like the bar scene. And what's nice about the Lime and Coconut, there's a little bit of shade here as well, so a good spot to go and enjoy it. And as you can see, there's different areas of the Lime and Coconut. So, if you ever tell anybody, hey, let's meet at the Lime and Coconut, you should be a little more specific because the Lime and Coconut is the name of basically the entire pool deck bar scene that you can find there. You're also going to find some interesting seating all around the pool deck. And as I mentioned, seats do go quickly, but you're going to find seats in the shade, in the sun. And really, it's just a matter of finding the spot you want to be in. For some people, they're just looking for something very casual, in the shade perhaps. Other people want to be right by the pool. Others are just looking to be in an area that has a lot more of a party scene, if you will, or a little louder. If you want a suntan, of course. So there isn't really a right or wrong answer as where you can go, but needless to say, there are a lot of chairs all around the pool deck. I find that generally speaking, the chairs that go quickest are right by the pool, usually on deck 15, whereas some of the chairs up on 16 take a little bit longer to fill up, especially the ones that are a little bit further away from the pool. And if you walk, again, further away, you'll find even more chairs available there. So it's just a matter of finding one that's good for you. And, if you get out there in the morning, I think you'll have a good chance of finding a seat. The problem really you run into is if you go there too late. Now, there are casitas you can rent, and casitas are a extra cost option in which you don't have to compete for anything. You just rent it before the cruise or even on board the ship, and it's yours for the day. You rent it per day, and there's a cost, whether it's a sea day or a port day. The price does differ, but you get it for the entire day, and it's a nice little enclave for you. The View Bar is our next stop, and this is such a really cool place. So Royal Caribbean added the View Bar here on Utopia because they wanted to have a bar that you could really enjoy. Get it? The view. It's a place to go kind of chill out. It's not really by the pool per se. What I love about the View Bar is, of course, that it has that expansive look out to the ocean. So it's really pretty. I love going here for sunset especially, but even just on a nice sea day, if there's a good breeze, man, what a great spot to enjoy a drink and just be able to take in the scenery around you. There's a lot of seating around as well. It's comfortable. I like it a lot. I think the View Bar is vastly underrated. Our next stop is going to be the Solarium, and the Solarium is the adults-only area on board Utopia of the Seas. The Solarium is adults-only pool area for 18 and above, so as long as you're 18 years old, you're allowed to go in here and use the facility. Of course, you got younger kids. If you want to go from like point A to point B, that's fine. But basically, anybody under 18 is not supposed to be in the pool or using the chairs here, and this is really meant to be an adults-only area, like a little home away from home for adults, really. The one thing I love about the Solarium is that it's completely enclosed, which means it's climate controlled. And for someone like me that does not enjoy oppressive heat and humidity, it's really nice going to the Solarium just for the, let's call it air conditioning. It's very temperate in here. You'll certainly not be cold going into the pool or anything. But anyway, that's something I really like about it. The other really cool thing about the Solarium are the views, because you're right up the front of the ship. So some of the best views are right up there. If you go up to that glass, you can really get some nice views out there. Of course, the hot tubs, the jacuzzis, the pools, it's all about just lounging here and enjoying it. It's also kind of a quieter experience in the Solarium compared to the pool deck, where the pool deck has like music and everything else. The Solarium tends to be a little more chill. I mean, there are adults here, so there's going to be shenanigans, I am sure, but it's not really that like, oomph, oomph, oomph party vibe, or more likely it's less oomphs. It's more like, don't worry, be happy. There goes my singing for the day. It's more of just a calmer experience, if you will, and people certainly get into, I think, just being able to relax, read a book, take a nap. Some of these lounge chairs are so good for a nap. It's really underrated. I could really go for a nap right now, just even looking at these. So nice thing to go here on the sea day, and seating, just like the pool deck, can be a little competitive, but if you're further away from the pool or hot tub, I don't think you'll have too much of a problem getting here. But obviously, if this is important to you, especially some of those comfier chairs and loungers, then get there early. Solarium Bistro is one of the restaurants in the Solarium. So Solarium Bistro is for all ages, despite the Solarium name. You can bring your kids here. And Solarium Bistro is probably the least known restaurant on Utopia of the Seas. What I mean by that is, like, it just doesn't register on people's radar because it's in the Solarium. It's not near the Promenade or some other part of the ship. I just feel like people overlook it. They're not aware of it. And it often is the case. You're going to find a lot of people who just simply discover it later on in the cruise. But it's open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And it's a great alternative to the Windjammer buffet, which we'll see in a little bit. But if you're coming here on embarkation day, on the first day of your cruise, this is a great alternative because it's a lot less crowded. And it's basically a buffet, and it's just something that people don't know about, I think. It's just a weird location to some extent. Anyway, if you're looking for an uncrowded restaurant, that might be a good option for you. Something else to keep in mind is actually Chef's Table over here in the Solarium Bistro. Chef's Table is a specialty restaurant that does cost money. The idea behind Chef's Table is it's an intimate, curated experience. What I mean by that is they bring you your food and it's served as a group, and basically it's an area that if you're looking for more elevated, distinguished food with wine pairing, then it's a good option for you. Overall, for Solarium Bistro though, I think for most folks, it's a great place for breakfast, less crowded, and for embarkation day, I like it a lot. Hooked Seafood is another specialty restaurant within the Solarium. Actually, Hooked Seafood is one deck above Solarium Bistro. And this is New England style seafood. So if you're looking for lobster and crab and mussels and anything else that comes from the ocean as your food, this is an option for you. There's a cover charge to dine at Hooked Seafood. And really, this is really the restaurant. Like I said, it's just, if you're into shellfish, my goodness, this is the place. Also, I gotta say, the messy fish sandwich is really good. I do recommend that quite a bit. So in general, I think when you're talking about, different kind of restaurants, especially here at Hook, this is all about one type of cuisine. So if it's up your alley, if you really want lobster, this is a great specialty restaurant just for you. Well, there's kind of a look at the pool deck, the solarium, and the pool. And here, of course, is basically where I think a lot of people are going to spend a lot of their time. Because, of course, hey, it's a pool, cruise ships. I think everybody kind of thinks about that when they go on a cruise ship. And Utopia's is really nice and quite expansive. Next up is the Suite Neighborhood. The Suite Neighborhood is where you'll be spending, I think, a fair amount of your time if you're staying in a Grand Suite or higher. Now, Royal Caribbean Suite Neighborhood is kind of like, it's not quite a ship within a ship concept, but it's an enclave just for you. Let's start with the Suite Lounge. And the Suite Lounge is a specific lounge just for suite guests. Again, if you're staying in any kind of a suite that's not a junior suite, but Grand Suite, higher, etc., then you're allowed to go in here. And the cool thing about the Suite Lounge is, first of all, it's an area just for you. Second of all, there is access to the Suite Concierge, who offers a variety of services that you can take advantage of. And there's also complimentary hors d'oeuvres and snacks served here throughout your sailing for, we'll call it breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's not a meal, obviously, but it's just food. And they have a complimentary coffee station here to make espressos and whatnot. The other really cool benefit of staying in a suite on Utopia of the Seas is access to Coastal Kitchen. Coastal Kitchen is an included restaurant just for suite guests. It's available for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So think of it like a main dining room, but just for suite guests. They have their own menu, and you can go here and enjoy your meals if you're staying in a suite. Junior suite guests are allowed to go to Coastal Kitchen for dinner only, but regardless of that, you need to make reservations because there's a limited amount of space, so that's a really good idea. Next up is the Suite Sun Deck. I think this is like one of the best benefits of staying in a suite on Utopia because I love this Suite Sun Deck. It's expansive. There's shade, which is important to me, but also I love the seating here. It's comfortable, has some great views. It's just a really nice spot, and I think Royal Caribbean's done a great job with it because not only do they have this great seating and its own little bar here, there's also, of course, the Suite Sun Deck bar, which allows you to enjoy your drinks and have a cocktail here. Again, you have a drink package included there. Here we have a look at the Suite Sun Deck pool, I guess we'll call it. I mean, it's kind of like a pool, hot tub, not quite one or the other, but it's a great spot to relax and enjoy. The best part is really you're in the water, so you're not completely submerged, but you're at least cooling down. And the best part is it's like only for suite guests, so you don't have to worry about being too crowded. I really do like this quite a bit, and I think it's a really neat perk of the Suite Sun Deck and, of course, being in a suite in general. Really, if you're staying in a suite, you really should take advantage of this reserved seating because it's a lot less competitive than the pool deck. Of course, there's not as much action happening and whatnot, but it is a reserved area just for you, included in your fare, and something to take advantage of. Now, you can see here from the Suite Sun Deck, we're going to take a look at the sports deck, which is the next area of Utopia of the Seas to check out. If you're looking to stay active, my goodness, there's a lot of cool things here to do within the sports deck area because there's a lot of activities, a lot of things that really make, I think, Royal Caribbean cruise ships stand out, that they've got like so many things to do, because that's really what a Royal Caribbean cruise is really well known for. The fact that there's just a lot happening. El Loco Fresh is the next stop on our visit. El Loco Fresh is a complimentary Mexican restaurant It's quick service. You just come in, grab something from a buffet style, and on your way. And I love El Loco Fresh because, first of all, it's Mexican food, which is amazing. Second of all, it's easy. It's a crowd pleaser. Quesadillas, tacos, burritos. But friends, the reason why I love El Loco Fresh is because no matter what you get here from the station, you can go to the toppings bar and load it up the way you want it. In my opinion, there is no such thing as too much pico de gallo, but I love to just go crazy with that stuff. My kids love it a lot. It's a great thing because, of course, they just have quesadillas, and it's just a great pool deck thing because it's very convenient. You can have a quick snack, you can have a full meal. It's really up to you. Right next door to it, or really included with it, is Cantina Fresca, which is the bar for El Loco Fresh. So if you're looking to get a drink while you're having your tacos, burritos, chips, this is an option for you. And they have a couple different tequilas here as well. So it's your El Loco Fresh bar for all intents and purposes. The sports court is the next stop here. So if you're looking to do soccer, volleyball, basketball, pickleball, they've got all that here. Depending on what time of the day you're visiting the sports court, there's different activities being held here. So in the morning, it's usually pickleball, and then there's open free play basketball, they'll have volleyball. It kind of depends, quite frankly, on just the time of day. Sometimes there's organized things, sometimes it's just really kind of a free-for-all, let's call it there. So it's up to you if you want to take advantage of it. There's no cost to go there. There are also ping pong tables, table tennis, whatever you want to call it, right, available as well. I love that it's enclosed because that essentially keeps the wind at a minimum. Otherwise, the ping pong game becomes more of a wiffle ball game with the wind, but it's really nice. You also worry about the ball going all over the place. There's also the zip line. Zip line is complimentary, and this is like the first zip line I ever did, I think. I don't think I did another one before this one. But anyway, the cool thing about the zip line is it's including your cruise fare. It's a very short ride, but it goes right over the Boardwalk neighborhood, so don't look down. But it's really fun to do. It's an easy thing, like, it's over in about half a second, but including your cruise fare. Aqua Dunes is the mini golf on Utopia of the Seas, and this is included in your cruise fare. The fun thing about the mini golf is it's whimsical, it's low pressure, and whether or not you're really taking it seriously or you're just cheating your heart out at every single hole, no judgments there, this is an option for you. And the cool thing about the mini golf is that it's open for both daytime and in the evening. And I do recommend checking out in the evening because it's really pretty out here. So good date night opportunity or simply taking your kids out there. Next up is the Utopia Playscape. Playscape is where you can go to basically have a play area for kids. And I love that they're doing this. It's really aimed at younger children. I'm going to say like under 6 or 7 years old. This is ideal. It's a lot of places to climb and burrow and slide. It's an enclosed area, so you can kind of, as a parent, sit right by the exit and just observe and wave to your kids. Oh yeah, I see you. Yeah, of course. It's a lot of fun for them. I only wish my kids were younger to take advantage of it. But anyway, it's a really cool place for kids, and it's a whole area just for those young kids to just climb and get a lot of energy out. The Flow Rider is available on Utopia of the Seas. The Flow Rider is a surf simulator. There is no cost to use the Flow Rider. There are private lessons and group lessons you can sign up for that do cost extra, but you can simply try it your best. And the way that it works is, well, you try first like body surfing, boogie boarding, whatever you want to call it. And if you can sort of master that, they'll allow you to do stand-up surfing. But the basic principle is you're learning how to surf. Although I think I've been told, I've never actually done this, I'm too afraid of the Flow Rider personally, that's more like skateboarding than surfing, but kind of something to try out. The Wipeout Bar is located right by the Flow Rider. So the Wipeout Bar actually is something interesting about this. Not only is it a bar, it's also shaved ice you can get here. Now, in the case of both the drinks and the shaved ice, it does cost extra to get a beverage over here. But with the shaved ice station, you can get, shaved ice and all sorts of flavors on it. I had one and it really tastes like childhood, if you ask me. I mean, I don't know the last time I had shaved ice, but kind of a cool thing. And they have boozy adult shaved ice, which I gotta say, I mean, why not, right? Have shaved ice and alcohol. It's a thing. Great way to cool down. And I love that it's right by the Flow Rider, so you can kind of relax and enjoy that. The Ultimate Abyss is located also. Here's the entrance to it anyway. You will see the exit in a little bit. The Ultimate Abyss is a dry slide. It's not a water slide. And this is the longest, tallest slide at sea. And the idea here is that it just takes you from the sports deck all the way down to the boardwalk area. And it's over 10 stories long. It looks very scary. I gotta promise you it's not nearly as scary as it looks, but a lot of fun, and certainly something to do at least like once. You gotta try it out. Which of course leads us to the boardwalk, and that's where the Ultimate Abyss ends there. And the boardwalk is, of course, a whimsical neighborhood on board the ship. The boardwalk is meant to essentially remind everybody of the seaside boardwalks of New England, and even the UK for some extent. And the Boardwalk has a lot of cool activities, starting with the carousel. This is a handcrafted carousel. There is no cost to use the carousel. Anyone of any age, even aging bloggers, are able to use the carousel on Utopia of the Seas. And don't overlook this, guys. It's a really cool thing. When my kids were younger, they loved it. Sometimes it's just fun to go on there because it's a really short ride. It's fun. It's great for kids. Check it out. Right across the way is the Doghouse. The Boardwalk Doghouse is where you get complimentary hot dogs throughout your cruise. And there's basically a way to customize it. You pick the bun, you pick your hot dog, a couple different toppings. I got to tell you something. Maybe you're watching this video and you're thinking to yourself, Matt, I'm not really into a hot dog. I don't really want to eat a hot dog. You get on that ship and you smell it, you're going to change your tune. Sugar Beach is also located nearby. Sugar Beach is the candy store / ice cream store on Utopia of the Seas, so everything you're seeing here does cost extra. But if you're looking to get candy or ice cream or both, this is available for you as well. The candy by the pound is available, and there's different souvenirs and squishmallows. Basically, this is Temptation Island for any kid out there, so maybe don't show your kids this part of the video. Also located within the Sugar Beach is, of course, the ice cream station. So why would you get ice cream? Because there's ice cream included on the cruise ship. The reason is, of course, there's different flavors, different ways to add toppings and whatnot. So it's really a matter of, I think, if you're just looking for, number one, hard ice cream, number two, some of the toppings and other flavors, then Sugar Beach is the stop for you. There's also the kids shop here on the Boardwalk, and basically this is Royal Caribbean logo wear that are meant for children, so smaller sizes and whatnot. And there's a variety of clothes and backpacks and toys and all sorts of things that have Royal Caribbean or Coco Key or Utopia of the Seas written on it, along with some sundries and other things you might want to have in your room. In terms of the different souvenirs and whatnot, what's really cool is maybe having like a sweatshirt or a t-shirt that, of course, you can bring home. Johnny Rockets is located nearby, and Johnny Rockets is especially a restaurant that does have a cover charge to dine here. Now, here's an interesting aspect of it. It's actually free for breakfast, but costs money for lunch and dinner. For breakfast, it is like an American-style breakfast, but for lunch and dinner, it is like the Johnny Rockets you've probably seen at your local mall or whatnot. Burgers, hot dogs, chili fries, the works. And this is like, a 1950s-style diner, and they do have milkshakes. That's kind of a neat thing about it. So there's a cover charge to dine here. You pay one fee for the cover charge, and then all your food is included. Keeping in mind, by the way, that beverages do cost extra. Located nearby Johnny Rockets is the climbing area. This is the Chips Climber, Lucky Climber. I forget the official name for it. When my kids were younger, they loved this thing because it's a great way to just expel energy and climb to your heart's delight. Across the way is Playmakers Sports Bar. Playmakers is, of course, the sports bar and actually arcade on Utopia of the Seas. If you want to watch a game here, no matter which major event it is, it'll probably be televised here. They have pretty good satellite feeds. And what's really cool about Playmakers is, of course, the food. It's sports bar food. So the food is not included in your cruise fare. It's all priced a la carte. So if you want to come in here just for nachos, or come in here for nachos, burgers, and everything else in between to watch the Buffalo Bills lose again, well, Earl, you've got the option over here. Located also within, I guess, the Playmakers area are some arcade games, and there's also the owner's box, which is an area you can reserve for your group if you'd like to. It has an extra charge for that as well. But Playmakers is really for the sports viewing, and when there's a big game on, this place gets super busy. Playoff games, baseball games, Mets losing again. I mean, you got it all in here. And what's really cool about Playmakers is the vibe. It's a great sports bar. I really like it quite a bit. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the exit to the Ultimate Abyss is on the Boardwalk. So if you're looking for, I don't know if it's a convenient way, but a fast way to get down from the top deck to the Boardwalk, you can make the argument that the Ultimate Abyss might be the option for you. It's a very long slide. There's cool effects within the slide, and it really stands out. I think what's really fun, again, is that it's just something else that's on a cruise ship that you can do, and it's included. Speaking of things included is the Aqua Theater. So during your cruise, you're going to have different shows on board Utopia of the Seas, and this is Aqua 80s 2 in the Aqua Theaters. The Aqua Theater is an open-air amphitheater, and they have different shows in here. And when you have Aqua 80s 2, it is, well, of course, 80s music set to all sorts of diving and acrobatics and splashing and high dives and whatever the heck this guy's doing, it's all here. It's a really cool spectacle. I got to tell you that when it comes to the shows in general on Utopia of the Seas, you should see them all. A lot of times people ask, hey, Matt, I'm going on Utopia. What should I see and do? Prioritize the shows. They're included in your cruise fare, and they're really fun. Lots of energy. They're not too long also. It's like 45 minutes or so, and it's a really cool thing. I really enjoy these quite a bit, and I got to say, it's really impressive as well. There are also 2 rock climbing walls on Utopia of the Seas included in your cruise fare. So the rock climbing wall allows you to go all the way to the top, hopefully, and ring the bell to signify that you've reached the top. There are different courses. Some are easier, some are more difficult, so it depends on, of course, your style. You're gonna be tethered up there, and you can go as far as you want. You go, 3 steps up and forget about it. That's okay too. There's a jogging track on Utopia of the Seas. The cool thing about the jogging track is it is its own dedicated track. What I mean by that is on other cruise ships, the jogging track's on the pool deck and it gets a little crowded. But here, it's all about just jogging. And I really like that Royal Caribbean add these little alcoves to the side of the jogging track. So you want to take a break or simply have a quiet space, this is available for you as well. All right, our next stop on our tour is Central Park on Deck 8. Central Park is an absolutely beautiful area. There's actually an entire park in the middle of Utopia of the Seas. This is really incredible. I mean, I take it for granted because I cover this all the time, but this is a living park. All the plants you see here are totally alive, and that says a lot because just remember, there's, you got the seawater and the salt air and all that. Anyway, really cool area, really beautiful. Definitely prioritize time in Central Park because it's absolutely stunning in here. And within Central Park, there are different restaurants and bars and shopping opportunities. So let's take a look at what everything is here. Starting with Chops Grill. Chops Grill is the specialty restaurant, steakhouse specialty restaurant on Utopia of the Seas. And it offers, steak here. And there's a variety of different cuts of steak. There is a cover charge to dine here, so you pay 1 fee per person, and you can enjoy all the food that's here at Chops Grill. What I like about Chops is, of course, if you're looking for a great steak, this is the place for you. They also have outdoor and indoor seating, so if weather permitting, you might want to sit in the outdoor seating and enjoy the view out there, but inside is great as well. And for a lot of people who love steak, and really, they can go to Chops Grill. Chops is one of the most popular restaurants on every single Royal Caribbean cruise ship, and there's a really good reason for it because the food is really nice. One thing about Utopia of the Seas is they actually have an iconic cuts area that has additional steaks that have a higher quality to them. 150 Central Park is located across from Chops, and 150 Central Park is elevated American fare. There is steak, there's fish. It's hard to describe 150 Central Park. It's hard to categorize it because it's a little more generic, but I gotta tell you, this is one of my favorite restaurants on any Royal Caribbean cruise ship because I love the food here. I think, in fact, I'm gonna say this, call me crazy, but I think the steak, the filet at 150 Central Park is better than the steak over at Chops. Let me know in the comments if you agree with me on that one. Throughout Central Park, there's a lot of seating. You can take it in. And in fact, in the evening, there's jazz played here, jazz music. So, take advantage of that. And Park Cafe. Park Cafe is an included restaurant, and it's open for, let's call it breakfast, lunch, and early dinner. It kind of closes down before, real dinner time. But really, this is a great spot for a quick meal. It's included in your cruise fare. And I like going here actually for 2 times. 1, embarkation day. It's a lot less crowded than the Windjammer buffet. And number 2, it's also really good for hey, we want to have breakfast before we get off the ship for our shore excursion. Whenever we have a shore excursion, we usually meet at Park Cafe to grab something to eat and then go down and go on our way, as opposed to going to the Windjammer or some other restaurant for a longer meal or a more crowded meal, however you want to look at it. There are also these drink dispensers you're going to find here. And essentially, you just put your cup in front of it and you get the drinks dispensed for you. It's very convenient, works a lot better than just having carafes out there. And you're going to find, depending on, if you're here for breakfast or lunch, different choices within the food. There are sandwiches, there are salads, there's a bagel station in the morning, and it's all included, which is absolutely fantastic. I really like Park Cafe a lot. Great seating, both inside and outside. It's just a great, casual, hey, we want to go in here. By the way, they have the Kemmelwick sandwich available as well in the afternoon, and this is a real staple of this restaurant. You got to try it out. It's a roast beef sandwich with some au jus on it. Oh, it's so good. You really got to check it out. And Park Cafe is a great spot to enjoy. So as we're walking through Central Park, you're going to notice different walkways, different areas. So definitely explore Central Park a lot. And they have the Trellis Bar. And I love the Trellis Bar. It's just a great spot, especially in the evening hours. I love going here for a pre or after dinner drink to be able to enjoy the ambiance. Because when you're in Central Park, whether you're taking in the jazz music that's played here, whether you're going to dinner, the breeze, it is so beautiful here. It's a great spot for photos, by the way. If you want to take family photos, great opportunity. Izumi in the Park is our next stop. Izumi is the Japanese specialty restaurant, and there are a ton of things in here. It's actually one of the biggest, if not the biggest, Izumi available. So let's start off with the Izumi in the Park, which is a window that you can order sushi and actually ice cream to go in bubble cones. Kind of a neat thing that does cost extra. Izumi, the restaurant, offers 3 main sections. First of all, we have the sushi section, which offers a variety of sushi options for you. Every sushi option within the menu is priced a la carte. There is a fixed price option. I don't recommend it. So just order as you go. I think you'll find more options and better serving sizes here, but that's up to you. The second area of Izumi is the omakase table. Omakase essentially is like chef's table for Japanese cuisine. So if you're looking for elevated Japanese food, especially sushi, then you're gonna wanna check that out. The third option is the hibachi tables. These are super popular where they cook in front of you and the food is really good. I love the hibachi. I love all of this. I mean, I could eat at Izumi every single day. My wife, not so much, but I would love to go here every single day and enjoy that. So if you're looking for Izumi, the nice thing is that they have this option for you. Again, the sushi is a la carte, the hibachi and the omakase are price cover charge. There's also some shopping in Central Park. So if you're looking to get jewelry, well, then you could go here to, of course, one of these stores and pick up some designer name brand jewelry, sunglasses, handbags, and it's up to you. You know, I think for a lot of people, it's not that they like plan their shopping around their cruise, but it's more like, hey, we're on vacation and you want to check it out. Now, if you see this video here now of the nighttime evening in Central Park, my goodness, it's absolutely stunning. I love how beautiful Central Park is. I mean, it's just so nice. And I gotta say, again, come here, grab like dinner in the evening, and make sure you spend some time in Central Park in the evening for the beautiful ambiance. Next up is the Royal Promenade. The Royal Promenade is the main thoroughfare of Utopia of the Seas. Think of it from like an end-to-end hall of dining, shopping, bars, parties, activities. This is where you'll board the ship, and this is where you're gonna find a lot of different things happening throughout your cruise. Let's start off with the Schooner Bar. So Schooner Bar is located on deck 6. The Royal Promenade is on deck 5, but it overlooks the Royal Promenade. Go with me on this one. Schooner Bar is a nautical themed bar, and really I think you'll find two things in Schooner Bar primarily that you'll go there for. One is gonna be trivia, and the other is in the evening, they have a piano player that plays some, hits like, Billy Joel and Elton John and John Legend and all sorts of the favorite tunes, and you just yell out the requests and they play them. It's a really fun activity. People really, really love the Schooner Bar players. The cool thing about Schooner Bar, of course, I think is just how nice this bar looks aesthetically and the great drinks you can find here. When you're talking about a Royal Caribbean cruise, there are drink packages you can purchase. If you're gonna buy one, buy it before the cruise. Do not wait to book it on board because it will cost you way more money on board the ship. Right next door to Schooner Bar is the Loyalty Desk. This is where you can find the Crown and Anchor Society ambassador. So if you have any questions about your status, your points, or anything like that, this is where you can go, and they have set hours you can stop by and ask them questions. There's also the Shore Excursions desk nearby. So if you want to book a shore excursion on board your ship or have a question about your shore excursions, this is where you can go. My advice is don't wait to book your tours on board, but book it before. Tours sell out all the time, and more importantly, they're cheaper online, so pre-book them. The photo gallery is also available here. So all the photos are digital, but throughout your ship, you're going to see different photographers around that are taking your photos, whether it's on the Royal Promenade, in a restaurant, even at Perfect Day Coco Key, and they use facial recognition to figure out who you are, and you can purchase photos here. There's also photo stations, and there's also a photo studio. If you want to do like a formal sitting, well then, picture this is where you can go to do that. Again, stop by for more information. All right, we're gonna go downstairs now to really the Royal Promenade. We were on deck 6. Here's the real one, and this is the Pesky Parrot. Pesky Parrot is a brand new idea for Royal Caribbean. It is a tiki bar. Actually, Royal Caribbean told me it's like a Florida tiki bar because tiki is really Polynesian, but they went for like tiki bar meets Florida, and you've got Pesky Parrot. Pesky Parrot is supposed to be a vibrant tiki bar that you can kind of just chill out and relax in. There are a variety of drinks. I love the pina colada stations they have here. It's not just pina colada. That's cool too. But they have different flavors of the pina colada, including the peanut butter pina colada. I really like that quite a bit. There's also another pina colada with Red Bull, and they have other drinks as well. And by the way, these drinks are just suggestions. If you still want to get, your Gentleman Jack and Coke, Earl, you can do that over here as well. And there's also drinks, and it's really cool. If you have a drink package, this is really where the value comes into it because you can try and experiment, and if you don't love it, get another drink. Of course, you can also buy drinks individually. That's an available option as well. I love the ambiance. And also, see the screen at the back? It actually changes throughout the day and evening. It really kind of sets the mood for you. And I love the Pesky Parrot. I think it's a great idea and just definitely a cool place to chill, relax, have a drink, meet some friends and family. You definitely want to go to the Pesky Parrot. You're going to see it when you board the ship, but come back here for a drink throughout your sailing. It's a great spot. Rising Tide is another great bar. This is actually, as the name implies, it rises and falls between the Royal Promenade and Central Park. The cool thing about the Rising Tide is it's a bar you get on there. It's got the drinks, standard drinks, cool. But it slowly moves between Central Park and the Royal Promenade. A really cool idea, and it's fun to do. I'm not sure it's my favorite bar to go to. Like, hey guys, let's go for a drink. but it's definitely worth doing at least once. You gotta do it. It's very neat. I like it quite a bit. Guest service is located right near the Rising Tide, and this is where you can go if you have a question about really anything on your cruise. You have a billing issue, your room key doesn't work, something's bothering you, you got a problem, go to guest services. My advice is, if you have a problem on your cruise, something's not to your liking, go here while you're on board. Don't wait to get home and complain about it. Go to guest services, let them know calmly what's going on. There's also the Voom desk located nearby. This is where you can go for like technical support. I mean, they can sell you an internet package too, but you should do it before the cruise. Cafe Promenade is a complimentary coffee shop located on the Royal Promenade, and Cafe Promenade is where you can go to get coffee throughout the day. You also have snacks on board and a variety of water stations and cookies and whatnot. Now, there's coffee and tea, that's included. They also have Starbucks drinks, and the Starbucks drinks do cost extra. If you have a drink package, it's included in your drink package, and it's a great spot just to get your morning fix. It's very popular in the morning for the coffee. Also, the snacks are really nice, and they have different cupcakes and cookies and sandwiches, so stop on by, and that food included in your cruise fare. You're also going to notice all these like silver, I don't know, chrome monkeys are available all around. It's kind of the art motif on there, so see how many you can find while on Utopia. We're going to move down the Royal Promenade, and really you're going to see there's a lot of space here. I think when you board Utopia this season, you see this, you're going to be like, wow, that is really impressive. It really sets the mood. Right in the middle of the Royal Promenade is a classic car. This is a Pontiac, and I'm not sure which model it is. You can let me know in the comments below, but it's a great photo op basically to be able to enjoy, and it's actually a real car. I mean, it's a real thing there. Check it out. Now, throughout your cruise, you're going to find different activities in the Royal Promenade. Here we have a band performing, and there'll be music, live music, parades, all sorts of things here. Next Cruise is also on the Promenade, and Next Cruise is where you can book another Royal Caribbean cruise. The idea here is if you want to book a cruise, you can get reduced deposit and extra onboard credit for doing so. So if you're on board Utopia, having a great time and want to do it again, well then, Mr. Cook and Yo, you can go down to the Next Cruise office, book a cruise, and be able to have another sailing ready to go. The Bell and Barley is the pub on Utopia. This is an English-style pub. I love the pub on any Royal Caribbean ship, and this one is very nice. And basically, the idea behind the pub is, of course, you're having drinks and live music. In the daytime, it's like not that busy. I mean, maybe there's like a trivia event in here, but truly at night is where it really comes alive, because you're going to have live performances of a guitarist who sings bar songs, basically. And this is my favorite place to go. Well, maybe my second favorite place to go. We'll see that in a little bit on Utopia of the Seas, because I just love bar tunes. I love having a beer, being able to sit with friends, play Jenga, and I just love the bar on, the Bell and Barley. So it's a great spot. There's also this art within the middle of Royal Promenade. I don't know what it is. It kind of looks like a ravioli, but it's art. It's a cool thing. Makes you think. I think it's what really art is supposed to do. Sorrento's is located nearby. This is the complimentary pizza place on board the ship. Sorrento's pizza comes in a few different varieties: cheese, pepperoni, and then like one or two other varieties. It's available like throughout the day and late night. And the pizza's not bad. I mean, there's a lot of debates in there. Let me know in the comments below. Do you love Sorrento's? Are you okay with Sorrento's? Do you hate Sorrento's? Because it's not the best pizza in the world. The best pizza in the world, of course, being in Connecticut. But this pizza is certainly serviceable. And for a lot of people, they love it like for late night snacks. They're having some drinks. They're going between, the pub and the casino, hypothetically. Who would do that? And you want to get a slice of pizza. This is a good thing for you. And it's included. In fact, my youngest daughter, lives in Sorrento's. All she does is eat Sorrento's. She loves it. It's her favorite thing to do on a cruise, and more power to her for that. So if you want to be just like Aubrey, you can go there. There's also some shopping opportunities within the Royal Promenade, starting with the Royal Logo store. So this is where you can go to get every single Utopia of the Seas Royal Caribbean branded item. And there's different items available: mugs and sweaters and t-shirts and bags and magnets. Basically anything that has a Royal Caribbean logo on it. This is where you can find it, and they do come in adult and children's sizes. We did see the kids store earlier, but this is really the main store, if you will. And for a lot of people, they really want to have something, that has a Royal Caribbean logo on it, or Utopia of the Seas. The accessory store has really name brand bags. Again, more shopping opportunities. And then there's the Port Merchant store, where you can buy duty-free liquor. And for a lot of people, this is an opportunity to maybe save a few bucks on the cost of liquor. If you do buy it, you'll have to, wait until the end of the cruise to bring it home. You can't enjoy it on board. There are also sundries and different snacks you can purchase if you'd like to. Another store offers designer perfumes and cosmetics. So if you're into that, you got it over here. My oldest daughter, Gabby, just thinks that I should go over here and spend a lot of money on her in here every single time. The Effie store is a favorite for anybody who's looking to get jewelry. Jewelry on a cruise ship, it's like a thing for a long time. So if you want to pick up something that, kind of speaks to you, you can do that. Also within the Effie store is the Royal Bling store. So this is a subset of the store that offers Royal Caribbean themed jewelry. So if you're like me and you love Royal Caribbean, Well then, my friend, this is the jewelry store for you because you can get all sorts of adorned jewelry with the Royal Caribbean logo on it. If it sounds weird, you haven't cruised enough with Royal Caribbean, because eventually if you cruise a lot, you're like, oh yeah, this makes total sense. Of course they have this. Boleros is the Latin bar on Utopia of the Seas. Boleros is a very, very popular choice. Of course, you're going to have Latin merengue dancing, salsa dancing, and the music here in the evening is really where this place comes alive. Because in the daytime, you walk by like, okay, so we got some good drinks here, mojitos and whatnot. But in the evening, man, this place gets super packed. People love the live music there. It really stands out. I think Boleros is a great spot for, again, good drinks, good music, fun dancing. If you want to get up and dance, Boleros is definitely the place for you. Spotlight Karaoke is our next stop on the Royal Promenade, and this is a dedicated karaoke lounge. So throughout the cruise, you're going to have opportunities to belt out your favorites or enjoy others singing karaoke. Of course, the karaoke, the appeal is we're either really good or really bad, or want to watch people who are really good and really bad. It's available for all ages. Sometimes they have family karaoke, sometimes it's adult karaoke, but there's a lot of different choices here, and it's included in your cruise fare, so you just have to simply sign up and wait your spot in line. And I'm going to tell you, this is, again, if we had to rank like the busiest places, the most popular places on Utopia, this is probably it, because people love karaoke on a cruise ship. There's also a Starbucks on Utopia of the Seas. This is a freestanding Starbucks location. So what this means is this is actually a Starbucks kiosk. So this is not included in your drink package, but if you have a Starbucks rewards card, you can pay for your Starbucks drinks and even earn rewards. You can't redeem rewards here, but they have the full Starbucks menu. So if you're looking to get a Starbucks fix on your cruise, this is where you can go. Really, when you look at the Royal Promenade, I think you're going to find throughout the day different things. Check out the Cruise Compass or, of course, the Royal Caribbean app for more information about activities and parades and whatnot. There's a lot happening here, especially at night. You get dance parties and things happen, and so no doubt you're spending a lot of time on the Royal Promenade. Now, our next neighborhood, we're going to head to Entertainment Place, which is located on Deck 4, and it's right below the Royal Promenade. Entertainment Place has a lot of different, entertainment options. We're going to start off with the Royal Theater. And the Royal Theater is we're going to find All In, which is a high-tech Royal Theater original production. Really, there's dancing, there's music. It's a great production to check out because All In just encompasses, first of all, great music, really talented dancers, and there's a live orchestra that performs here. I got to admit, I was really impressed by this show. I think there's just so much energy to it, and it really presents a great experience. It's including your cruise fare, by the way, no cost to do so. So you really should include that. As I mentioned earlier, the shows on Royal Caribbean ships are truly impressive. Giovanni technology, talented dancers and singers, and of course, great music around it. It's a great medley show, and I do recommend checking it out. Next up is the Casino Royale. There's actually two casinos on Utopia of the Seas. The first one is the non-smoking casino. So this is a little area that has, of course, no smoking allowed, and it's been something that Royal Caribbean added in response to some guest demand to have a non-smoking section. And basically, this area allows you to have slot machines and a blackjack table and a roulette table and I think a poker table as well. It's a smaller room, but a good place if you don't want to have any smoke at all. This is a spot for you. Of course, the casino, you got to be careful with, gambling and whatnot, but it might be something fun to try. And for some people, they go in here, spend $20 and call it even. For other people, they really do spend a lot of money out there, but it's an option for you. The Attic is located across the way. The Attic, of course, is the comedy club or just / club in general. Its most primary use, I think, is for the comedy shows, which are included in your cruise fare. So check it out. They also do bingo in here. And in addition to that, they also have dance parties in here as well. It depends on what time of the day. It's really a multi-purpose venue, but I love the comedy shows on Royal Caribbean. There's usually 1 or 2 comics on board your cruise, so definitely stop by and enjoy a opportunity to see the comedy on board. Now, the Crown Lounge is our next up. The Crown Lounge is a dedicated lounge just for Crown and Anchor members. So if you're Diamond Plus, or Pinnacle, you're allowed to go into the Crown Lounge during your sailing and enjoy a private area. There is drink service, there's hors d'oeuvres served, and there's a Diamond concierge host who can help you with any problems you might have. Really, it's a way for Royal Caribbean to reward and recognize top-tier Crown and Anchor members by giving them a special place just for them. To be Diamond, you need to cruise a fair amount, but when you get there and earn enough points, it's a really nice opportunity for you to be able to enjoy some of those benefits. And again, just having a special area, so I appreciate that as a top-tier member myself. Studio B is the next stop on our cruise tour here, and Studio B is the ice skating rink. So primarily, I think Studio B is really what's about the ice skating shows on board. With Studio B, you're going to see Utopia, as in U-Y-O-U, get it? It's a fantastical ice skating show, and I know what you're thinking, ice skating show? Really, Matt? Yeah, it's really good. I enjoy them quite a bit. it's a really cool opportunity to see some really talented skaters. These skaters, by the way, are like former national stars. Like they were on their Olympic teams or national teams. They've come here to perform, and it's an original production. Really cool thing to check out. So whether it's Studio B or the Royal Theater or the Aqua Theater, make sure you book entertainment before your cruise begins. There's also an art gallery as you pass by Studio B, and the art gallery is where you can go to, essentially, I think, number one, see artwork, but there are opportunities to bid on art, and through the Park West program, if you're interested in that. Personally, I'm not, but I just like walking by on my way to the casino or coming back from the casino and being like, hey, look, there's art to check out. And some of it is really interesting. Some of it's, I think, gaudy. Some of it is, in between, but a fun thing to check out. Now, the main casino, the second casino here in Casino Royale is where you're going to find the biggest area. Now, technically speaking, there is a smoking and non-smoking section, but like a non-smoking section on an airplane doesn't really work that way. Anyhow, the good thing is I think Utopia does a really good job of balancing that. You're going to find slot machines and table games, video poker, really, I think everything you'd find in a land casino. There's also a casino bar as well. When it comes to Casino Royale, for a lot of people, they enjoy the opportunity to do a little bit of gambling on board. Now, the Casino Royale has its own loyalty program. If you gamble enough during your cruise, you could actually earn points and be able to get free cruises and whatnot. I'm not saying that's why you should gamble. You should gamble responsibly, but it's an option for you. Now, one of the crown jewels of Utopia of the Seas is definitely the Royal Railway at Utopia Station. This is a fully immersive dining experience that gives you an opportunity to really enjoy a immersive dining experience. So what's really interesting here is this is not just a restaurant. This is an experience in which it looks like you're going on a classic train. And the really cool thing about this is that it's fully immersive. So you go in here, you sit down, you're in this train car, classic train car. You have a screen that goes by. The seats vibrate, presenting the gentle motion of a moving train. There's a story being told with characters on board. There is, of course, great food that's being served here. Now, for Utopia of the Seas, depending on when you're watching this video, when it first launched, they only had one show on here, which is the Wild West. But Royal Caribbean is going to be rolling out additional scenes, additional stories, Silk Routes, which is going to be more of an adult-themed show. You're also going to find, I think, a Christmas show with like Polar Express. There's going to be a brunch option. There's going to be whiskey tastings. So the really cool thing about Royal Railway is that it is a very impressive experience overall, and I was really amazed by it. Of course, Royal Railway does cost extra money, so keep that in mind that there's an additional cost here. Next up is the spa neighborhood, and this is where you can go to relax and really enjoy yourself, treat yourself, as they say, in the Vitality Spa. The Vitality Spa has a number of different elements to it. There is, of course, a salon, there's massage tables, there's treatments you can get to. Now, with the spa, my advice is pre-book it before your cruise. Like, make a reservation because there are limited times. For a lot of people, they not only want to get their hair done, their nails done, or what have you, they want to have it done at a specific time, on a specific day, like formal night. Those go quickly. So make a reservation before the cruise. As you might imagine, the spa and the salon all cost money, so this is all extra cost there. But, this is a way for some people to enjoy themselves. Just like the casino, the spa and salon is an option as well. Now, the spa does have a lot of different treatments available. My advice, actually, is to go take a complimentary tour of the spa on embarkation day. It's very low sales pressure. Basically, they just want to show off the facilities to make you aware of what they have, just in case you want to use it. So, go to the spa on embarkation day, take a tour of it. If you want to book the spa, you can book it before the cruise or on board. With the spa, it's generally speaking about the same price, but the nice thing is if you book it on board, there can be different specials offered. But if you pre-book it, of course, you can get better time potentially. So it really depends on, I think, what your priorities are and what you're looking to get out of the spa experience. For some people, they go there like once. Some people go there like every day. That must be nice. And for other people, maybe they just decide mid-cruise, you know what? We're going to enjoy what the spa has to offer there. I think for the spa itself, I'm very impressed by the facilities. They're very professional. They do a really good job with it. So I have no qualms about what's offered here. Is it the cheapest spa in the world? No, it's not. But I think it's reasonable for what it is, especially if you compare it to some of the land prices there. But they have different treatments. There's Swedish massages and hot stone massages and facials and manicures back in the salon, of course. And I'm really impressed by it. There's a lot of different choices there. And if you're not sure, if you're like new to the spa, you can always ask them for advice. Now, located near the spa is the fitness center. The fitness center is the gym on board. The fitness center is included in your cruise fare. So if you'd like to do the gym, it's available. Now, this is more than like a hotel gym that has like, 2 machines. It is expansive. There are treadmills and there are weight machines and there are free weights and there's a lot here. Ellipticals, I think you're going to find actually an interesting amount of choices here with the things that are offered. Now, there are classes also offered. Now, the classes do cost extra, so keep that in mind. But if you want to use the machines or the ellipticals or anything else, that's totally included in your cruise fare, and you can enjoy that. But if you're into spin or Pilates or yoga and want to do a class for that, you can sign up for that at the Vitality Spa. For a lot of people, they're looking to, of course, go to the fitness center, get their workout in, and you can do that here in the fitness center. Next up, Adventure Ocean. Adventure Ocean is the name of the kids programming, the kids club, let's call it that. And Adventure Ocean is available for kids under the age of 18. Most of it is included. We'll talk about some of that as we go through the different areas. Now, Adventure Ocean is split up based on age, so it's more age appropriate. We're gonna start with Adventure Ocean Babies, which for 6 to 36 months old. Now, Adventure Ocean Babies does cost extras, an hourly charge for this. I'm gonna tell you something. Both my kids went to Adventure Ocean Nursery, worth every single dollar. They're great. They are trained professionals who will take care of your, infant or toddler. They can feed them, they can put them down for a nap, they can do playtime with it. You should register for it when you get on board the ship because there are a limited amount of slots for it. Adventure Ocean Juniors is for 3 to 5-year-olds, and this is complimentary. So the Adventure Ocean Juniors is available for in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. After 10 o'clock, it does cost extra. Again, I think still money well worth spent. But the idea here is that kids can play, and there's organized games for them, and it's really all age-appropriate stuff so they can really interact, and there's drawing, and there's artwork, and there's pirate night, and it's a really cool thing to do. Now, the play place is an open play area, so this has no cost to it. There's no supervision here. This is really great for very young children. My kids were like toddlers, and kids just need to get energy out. They want to explore and climb. This is the place for you. Bring them in here, close the door behind you, let them run around. You sit on one of these stools, read a book, and they have a great time in there. There's also the Adventure Ocean Theater, which is a dedicated theater for families. Now, there's 2 ways really Adventure Ocean Theater works. One is if the kids are in Adventure Ocean, sometimes the counselors will take them here to watch a movie. Other times, they'll have actually movies that parents can go to as well. In addition, there's the Adventure Ocean Workshop and the Arena. The workshop, of course, being more of an arts and crafts area. The Arena is for kids between the ages of 6 and 12 years old. And the Arena is the older kids area. And you can see here, it's obviously a little more mature stuff. There are video games, there's movie screens, places to lounge, and a lot of space to kind of just play, right? There's foosball tables, there's areas with a digital screen. The idea is Royal Caribbean wants kids to be able to do what they want with their friends, be able to kind of explore. So there are organized activities or activities for kids to do on their own, because not every kid wants to do like the same game at the same time. So Royal Caribbean is like, listen, we're going to offer a lot of space, and we're going to offer things for kids to do, if they want to do an organized thing like a game of Gaga Ball, or maybe the kids know some friends on board and just want to hang out and do their own thing. Maybe do some arts and crafts on the side or play video games. That's an option for you as well, including these awesome digital tables. I want one of these things. The different games on here. It's a really neat thing. Adventure Ocean for kids 3 to 12 years old, included in your cruise fare. After 10 o'clock, there is an hourly charge for it. Next up is the Royal Escape Room. And the Royal Escape Room is essentially an extra cost way that you can experience an escape room if you've ever done one on land. You have a timed challenge for you and everyone else in the room. It's not just you, it's like a group of people. You have to work together to figure out a series of clues to essentially escape the room before time runs out. Social 100 is the name of the teen club on board, because they want to call it teen club. It's not cool. You gotta call it Social 100. And the idea here is that's like Adventure Ocean for teenagers. So there's less organized things. There are different activities held here, but really this is meant to be a lounge for teens, a place for them to hang out, get to know each other. As is usually the case, teenagers usually come on day 1 en masse and meet everybody, and then they kind of do their own thing as teenagers. But if your teens want to go to the teen area, I would definitely recommend going on the first day of the cruise, so that way they can meet the other teens on board, because it's a very popular spot. I think for a lot of teenagers, it's a good way to meet some other friends on here. Now, in addition to the teen club, they have their own pool deck area called the patio, only for teenagers. You can't get in here as an adult, and it has seating, it has its own hot tub. But the idea is that this is their own area for them, so they don't have to go sit in the stairwells, although they end up doing that anyway. But they have their own area to kind of chill, relax, and just be among their friends. And I love that Royal Caribbean's dedicated so much space for teens and kids in general, because they've really done a great job with just expanding this area and offering families in general more space. Because again, families want to do things together, but sometimes families also want to do things apart, and this is that opportunity for them. And I gotta tell you, of all the areas on the ship, well, maybe not so much, but I've always been envious of the teen club area. It looks cool. I want to have an area like that. Alas, not in the cards for me. Next up, let's stop at the arcade. The arcade is, of course, an extra cost arcade. So all the games here do cost extra. And they have skee ball, and they've got video games and shooting games and racing games and claw machines. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, from one parent to another, this is definitely like a pit of despair as it relates to the cost of your cruise. I mean, you go in here, your kids just want to do everything, right? Or you're like my kids, they want to play. They claim they want to do the arcade games, but they really want to do the claw games. But anyway, if you want to check it out, it's available. Well, now that we've seen all the neighborhoods, let's look at some other places on Utopia of the Seas, because while there are, of course, neighborhoods and things fit in there, some things don't really fit into, like, the general thing. So I'm just going to go through some other areas of Utopia of the Seas you should know about, starting with the Windjammer buffet. We've talked about it already, but this is the main buffet on Utopia of the Seas. It is massive. It's open for breakfast, lunch, dinner. It's included in your cruise fare, and there is a ton of food choices in here. If you have a picky eater, this is the best place for you. Now, there isn't a right or wrong answer as to which meals you should have here. For some people, they like, the upscale dining. For other people, they just want to go to the Windjammer, have something quick, easy. And I love the variety of food here because you're going to find a ton of different food stations for you to enjoy. And that's really the value, the power of the Windjammer, is how much food selections they have. So you can find some upscale food. You can find some salads. You can find kids' food. Man, I'm always impressed by the amount of choices. And if you're like me, you're gonna load up on 8 different varieties of food because it all looks so good. And it's including your cruise fare. A lot of people come up here for embarkation day and also for their lunch, of course. And then also for other times, like breakfast is very popular, lunch as well. Dinner's a little less popular because there's a lot more things happening around the ship. And I really like they have the kids corner. And they've always had kids food in Royal Caribbean cruise ships in the Windjammer. But the idea here is they have a dedicated area just for kids, also a lower height to the counters. So that makes it a little bit easier for kids to get their food. There's also complimentary drinks within the Windjammer. So water, coffee, tea, that's included. Some juices as well. Of course, if you want to order a drink like a soda or a cocktail or a beer, you can do that. That'll cost extra if you have a drink package. And there's also the Coca-Cola freestyle machines over here as well. As we talked about earlier, you need a soda cup in order to use that. There's also a bar. But in my opinion, in the Windjammer, there's so many waiters that are walking around that'll take your drink order. You really don't need to go to the bar to get one. And there's expansive seating. If you can't find a seat in the Windjammer, keep walking back. There's a ton of seating in the back over there and some great views as well. So I do recommend, branching out and going beyond there to see what you can see. I really like the Windjammer. I mean, we talk a lot about the food, Royal Railway and the Solarium Bistro and Zumi, but I will always end up at least in the Windjammer a couple of times in the cruise. I just love it. I love variety because you never know what you want. Sometimes you want to have Indian curry, a salad, and a plate of spaghetti all on one plate. In the Windjammer, you can do that. Now, the Mason Jar is our next stop. This is a specialty restaurant that specializes in Southern American cuisine. And what I love about the Mason Jar, to quote Toby Keith, man, I love this bar. We'll get to that in a second. This is a specialty restaurant, and the restaurant offers brunch and dinner. There's a cover charge to dine here. You're gonna find Southern biscuits and pimento cheese and gravy and biscuits and fried chicken. It's a great restaurant. I think it's a little underrated, and I love going here at least once during the cruise for a dinner. It's really, really good. But my favorite thing about the Mason Jar is definitely the bar area. You've got the country trio that performs out there. They do a great job. It's really good. I'm not like the world's biggest country music fan, but I don't know. Something about the live music on a cruise ship, nothing like drinking a bunch of the peanut butter and jelly old fashions. There's a great drink menu here. That's one of the main drinks. Try the peanut butter and jelly old fashioned. You might meet some friends from Tennessee out there and just have a great time. I love it. By the way, shout out to Brian and Jeff. You see here, they're actually on Instagram. They're great guys and they do a fantastic job. I'm not sure if they'll be on your Utopia of the Seas cruise, but if they are, you're going to want to spend some time out there. By the way, Jeff, who's the drummer, loves pina coladas. So get him some pina coladas if you can. And Brian, I think, likes whiskey. So either way, you don't have to buy him drinks, but they're just really great. I love the live music. They're so good. This is my favorite bar on the ship. I'll come back here almost every night of the cruise. It's that good. Let's check out the main dining room next. This is a staple of any cruise ship, and you're going to be able to have dinner here every night of your cruise, including breakfast as well, and lunch on sea days. The main dining room is included in your cruise fare, which means really all you have to pay for in here would be any drinks if you ordered them beyond, water or coffee or tea. We're talking like alcohol, soda, etc. And a few upcharge items like lobster or steak if you wanted to have that outside the regular rotation of the menu. But the main dining room has a set theme menu every night of your cruise, so the menu changes. There are two types of dining. One, Utopia of the Seas, one is traditional, and one is My Time dining. And without going into terrible amount of details, we've done videos about this topic right here on our channel. Basically, traditionally, you have the same table, wait staff, and table mates every night, whereas My Time, there's a little more variability. You need to make reservations in advance. Regardless of which one you pick, the main dining room is a beautiful space and an opportunity to enjoy a full sit-down meal included every night on your cruise, and, as I mentioned, breakfast as well. Next up is Music Hall on deck 8 and 9. Music Hall is a multi-story venue that, as you might imagine based on the name, plays a lot of music. Really, when you go to Music Hall, it's about the live performances in here. During the daytime, it can be used for things like trivia or game shows, but in the evening, this is really when Music Hall comes alive because you're gonna have a lot of great fun in here. Live performances, music, bands. In a lot of cases, they're cover bands. They really want you to get up and dance and be a part of the party, if you will. This is not so much a concert as it is a place to go and dance and enjoy. Now, on the upper venue, there's also things like pool tables and more seating. There's bars, staff, so you can sit there and kind of enjoy it. But if you really want to dance, this is a great place for it. At late night, Music Hall can also be the site of some of the DJ music and late night oomph type music. You can find that here as well, so check the planner. Giovanni's Italian Kitchen is another specialty restaurant on Utopia this season. I gotta say, it is the most beautiful Giovanni's location across any Royal Caribbean cruise ship. This is a specialty restaurant that has a covered charge to dine here, and at Giovanni's, you're gonna be getting classic Italian fare. Giovanni's is known for the freshly made pastas, pizzas available, and of course, other classic Italian dishes like chicken parmesan. In order to dine here, you need to pay a cover charge, and when you go here, there's a lot of great choices. I absolutely love the pizzas that are served here. Yes, these are better than the pizza you find at Sorrento's, but on top of that, you have, of course, classic pasta dishes, and really, the views of Giovanni's are nearly as good as the food itself, and I absolutely love how this space looks. It's a little hidden away on deck 12, but man, if you can get out here and enjoy the view, or just be able to enjoy the food and the view, it's even better because Giovanni's is a great restaurant and a real crowd pleaser, and Italian food is so good. And with this particular space here on Utopia, I think Royal Caribbean really hit a home run with just the absolute aesthetics of this particular restaurant. We're going to look into the elevator lobby here, and this is really beautiful. I love this artwork that you're going to find within the elevators, and Utopia of the Seas has destination elevators. So what that means is that instead of hitting a button, say I want to go to deck 17, you actually hit a panel button on the outside, and they assign you an elevator. And when that elevator arrives, you walk in, you don't push any buttons, and it goes up to the deck you're looking for. This is a very efficient way to move people around, and it does reduce wait times. So it's a very nice change. Now, this is not typical of cruise ships, but it is a really neat option. So it takes about a try or two, and I think you'll get it quite quickly. Now, of course, there are lots of cabins all over the ship. Royal Caribbean offers many types of cabins on Utopia of the Seas. Inside rooms, ocean view, balcony, suites. There are many categories that are available. Which one should you book? Well, it depends on your budget, who you're traveling with, and what your needs are. There isn't a right or wrong answer. Like, there's not a cabin that I would not recommend because there's pluses and minuses to everything in life. And certainly depending on your budget, how many people you're traveling with, and what you're looking for, there's options available. Now, what you're seeing right here is an ocean view balcony, and this is a very popular choice because ocean view balconies offer enough space for 2 or 4 people in some cases, and they just have enough space with a private balcony, so that means you can get out there and enjoy the ocean views and natural sunlight that comes through it. It's just a very popular choice. In terms of which cabin to book, I think in general, number one, you want to kind of figure out what your budget is and determine that. Like, here's an inside room. An inside room is going to cost you significantly less. And here's a suite. And a suite's going to cost you way more than that. And in a lot of cases, if you're booking a suite, I think it's less about the dollar-to-dollar value. It's more like, hey, you want to splurge and enjoy these epic, luxurious rooms. If you're booking an inside room, well, you're just there to, have somewhere to sleep, shower, and change, and you're out enjoying all those amazing things that are on the cruise ship. It's a really good idea to talk to a travel agent about your options, price things out, and find the right choice for you. Don't feel bad about doing an inside cabin, by the way, because, hey, money saved on a cabin means more money you can spend on awesome things on board the ship, or heck, even booking another Royal Caribbean cruise. Now, we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the ultimate family suite. This suite is epic. Yes, it has a slide within the room. Obviously, this is an over-the-top type of suite. Really expensive. It's got a jacuzzi. It's got a Lego room. It's got video games. Chairs. I mean, listen, if you're gonna go big, I think maybe the Ultimate Family Suite might be the option for you. So there you have it, a look at Utopia of the Seas, an epic mega cruise ship within the Royal Caribbean fleet. Hopefully, you're gonna have a great time on Utopia. Let me know in the comments below, when are you going on Utopia of the Seas, and which feature are you most excited for? Is it one of the shows, one of the bars, one of the restaurants, maybe even the places you're going on Utopia of the Seas? I would love to know where you're going. By the way, while you're down below our video, please hit the like button. It really helps us out. If you could do that, also subscribe to our channel and hit that little bell notification. That way YouTube lets you know of a brand new video to share. This has been Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, and we'll talk again real soon.